Hi everyone, and welcome to the Owl Pod. I'm Kevin Kopp. Some quick housekeeping before we get underway with today's episode. David Litvin and Amelia Wright are taking over the Tuesday episode of the Owl Pod. I'll be on Fridays. Today, David and Amelia sit down with Temple men's soccer's Lukas Egarter. I'll have Temple field hockey legend Sharifa Howarth with me on Friday. You can get the Owl Pod twice a week, Tuesdays, Fridays. Like, subscribe, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere you get your podcasts, you can get the Owl Pod twice a week. Without further ado, here's David and Amelia.
Welcome back to another episode of the Owl Pod. I'm your host, David Litvin. Alongside me, my beloved co-host,
Amelia Wright.
And if you're listening, and if you listened before, you'll notice that this episode's a little bit different right away. What do you think?
I'm excited. We got our own section here.
We have our own show.
Upgraded from the back half to our own.
We got our own show, and how it's going to work moving forward. Every Tuesday, you're going to hear from Amelia and I. We're going to recap what happened the previous week in Temple Athletics. We'll cover all your favorite sports, giving updates, and then the back half of the episode, we'll bring on a student-athlete guest. But if you want to hear who that is, you're going to have to listen to our weekly recap.
Big surprise.
So we'll start with Temple Field Hockey, who has improved their record to 5-1 overall.
Great start to the season.
They're on a 3-game win streak, and they haven't lost a game at home this entire year. Amelia, I know I've seen you at a couple field hockey games. Initial thoughts, Temple Field Hockey. I think they're about 3 weeks into their season.
Yeah.
They're on a roll right now. I know our fellow SAC board member, Peyton Rieger,
scored this weekend.
She's been scoring a couple goals. I also seen her
She's captain this
dishing
year.
some assists.
Yeah.
She's doing a great job leading that team. But I want to start with Coach Fatisse, who, for those of you that remember, was named Coach of the Year at Stella's back in May.
She's a game changer.
I really think she is. Since she's started with Temple Field Hockey and my entire time at Temple, they've always competed for championships.
Oh, yeah. Gritty team. She really is a very vocal leader that drives them to a lot of wins.
And you see it on the sidelines. I mean, when you go to the games, you really have a strong belief in the coach and really their entire program. I expect them to compete for a Big East championship this year. They're off to a great start.
Yeah.
If you want to catch them this week, they're going to be playing Drexel on the road on September 16th. Drexel's 3-2 overall. They're coming off a big win against Rider. Expect that to be another close game, probably a rivalry game, I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Just down the road. And then, they're going to Georgetown on Friday. Georgetown struggled this year. They're 2-4 overall. So by the end of the week, we could be looking at potentially a 7-1 field hockey team.
Yeah. After they take on the pellet turf, which our team is not used to, and I've only heard.
Is that down at Georgetown?
Yeah, they're on the pellet turf, and we're on AstroTurf. Field hockey and lacrosse share a field, if you don't know. But also, shout out to our second part of the podcast. Kevin Kopp is going to be talking to a field hockey alumni this week, so that'll be exciting.
Yeah, stay tuned for that. But just really, really happy and really proud of field hockey so far. Expect them to keep rolling.
Oh, yeah.
Moving on, would like to touch on Temple women's volleyball, who coming off a tough game last Wednesday at home against Nova.
First home game.
Really, really bounced back strong, though, going up to New York City in the Rose Hill Classic. They went 2-1 on the weekend, getting wins against FDU and Fordham. Got to give a shout-out to my classmate, actually, Liv Hummel, who I go to strategic management with every Tuesday and Thursday. She was the queen of the match against FDU. For those who don't know what queen of the match is, I was just informed this is an award that the coach gives out to a player after each win.
New on their Instagram, so follow that Temple Volleyball Instagram. It's a cool thing they do. They actually give them a crown and give you the stats or whatever reason that they were queen of the match, which is really cute.
But Liv had a career day. She had 4 aces, 15 kills, and 10 digs against FDU, helping them get back on track and then, picking up another win against Fordham. So overall, I think a pretty solid weekend for volleyball, again, coming off that tough home loss to Nova. I hope to see them, keep rolling. They have the Cherry and White Invitational this week, which is in McGonigal Hall from September 19th to the 21st. They'll be playing every day at home. So come out and support them as they continue their season. Moving on, Temple football. Bit of a tough game this past weekend with number 13 ranked Oklahoma coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
We knew this was going to be a tough game. Oklahoma obviously nationally competed the last couple of years. We've seen them in the college football playoff.
SEC football.
Yeah, I think from everything that I've read, their quarterback expected to be a first-round pick. He certainly showed why on Saturday. I was at the game. I just want to start off by saying it was a pretty electric environment.
Oh, yeah. We were both at the game, and I've never seen – well, Lot K was sold out, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So tailgating was crazy. The lower bowl was almost full, which was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Environment was electric. A lot of Temple pride that day.
Yeah, I felt a lot of Temple pride. And honestly, I think this goes I nicknamed this the Keeler Effect.
It's a good one, David.
I feel like there's this really strong belief in Temple football that I haven't seen since my time here, and I think that really speaks to what Coach Keeler has going right now.
Yeah, setting a great culture for that team, really.
Yeah, and honestly,
they're on the ups.
Yeah, and the fans, there was a difference in the fans. I really felt like on Saturday, even when we got down early, there was still more of a belief, more people in the stands for longer than I've seen in previous years. So I certainly still believe in this team as they go to Georgia Tech this weekend, take on a team coming off a big game at home. They just beat Clemson, who is number 12. The first time they've been 3-0 since 2016. So obviously another strong team coming up, another Big Four, conference game, going on the road this time.
They're gonna have a tough time with those field goals, right, David?
Yeah, I didn't even want to say it, but you're gonna make me say it. They don't even have field goal posts in the stadium right now because the fans were so excited after that big win. They decided to carry those out of the stadium. But
they can replace those.
Assuming those are replaced by Saturday, I expect the Owls to go down there and compete.
Oh yeah.
And keep this game close, if not win. So
yeah, team energy was great all game for Oklahoma. So hope they continue that, and I know they're gonna come down to Georgia and make a difference,
Yeah, for sure. And then, looking a little bit more ahead with their schedule, I know after Georgia Tech, they take on some in-conference games. I know they got UTSA right around the corner. So hopefully, we pick up one more out-of-conference win, and then we go into conference play and try to do some damage. So still have a very positive outlook on football, and I expect them to continue their great season. Moving on to women's soccer. Looking at this week, they're traveling to Tulsa, Oklahoma for a matchup with the Golden Hurricanes.
I believe their first conference match.
Yeah, I know they just
season?
Played USF this past weekend.
That was home too.
Tough game against USF. They look ahead. They're going to Oklahoma. That's a tough trip. A couple of years ago, we actually had our conference race down in Tulsa, Oklahoma before I got to Temple. But I hearing from the guys, it's in the middle of nowhere. Probably got to take 2 flights to get there. On a Thursday, 7 p.m. I think women's soccer, we talked about it before we recorded here. They're scoring a lot more goals this year.
Yeah, goal production's way up from last year.
Scoring a lot more goals. They're competing in a lot more games. Hopefully that translates to some conference wins here in the next couple games.
Oh, yeah.
They have a home game on September 21st at 4 p.m., which is this upcoming Sunday against Lincoln, who is not in their conference. It's an out-of-conference game in the season. They did this a couple times last year, playing an out-of-conference team in the middle of their conference season.
Yeah.
But again, hopefully another opportunity to get back on track for them.
That's on September 21st, 4 p.m. at Temple Sports Complex.
There you go. And we'll wrap up this weekly review
with a hint
look ahead
to someone that we're talking about later in the episode.
Yeah, and that will be talking about men's soccer, who have a home game this week against Lafayette, my father's alma mater. Should give a shout out to the Leopards.
But then he taught at Temple, right?
Yeah, he taught at Temple. Just recently stopped teaching at Temple, but familiar with the Leopards. They're coming to town. They'll be here 7 p.m. And for our student athletes that are listening to the pod, you should tell your teams this is the charity night game, which means you go to this game, you scan in, earn points for your team. So it's an important game for them. Right before they continue with their conference play, which is their next conference game is on Sunday. Again, 9:21. It's a busy day at the Temple Sports Complex. They're taking on FAU at 1 p.m. So if you want to watch a lot of soccer on Sunday, you're in North Philly.
Back-to-back games.
Temple Sports Complex is the place to be. And with that, like Amelia alluded to,
dun, dun, dun.
We'd like to introduce our first international student athlete to join the Owl Pod. He comes from Australia. Or Australia. It's Austria.
Austria.
I've already messed up the intro.
You're so nervous about pronouncing the last name.
I'm thinking about the last name. I totally blew the country. You should have seen the eye roll. Comes from Austria. 3-year starter for Temple Owls. Team captain. And most importantly, this year's SAC representative. I'd like to bring onto the pod Lukas Egarter. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you very much for the nice and welcoming introduction, David. I messed it up a little bit with the country, but I think I can forgive you.
I hope you can forgive me. That was pretty bad, though.
And teach us how to pronounce your last name, please.
So pronouncing my last name in German or the Austrian way is Egarter. First name Lukas would be the American way, Lukas the Austrian way. But I forgive everyone who's an American listening to this podcast and pronouncing me Egarter.
Yeah. Please forgive me. As I did try it off the record to pronounce his last name 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, for a good couple minutes.
We just decided I was going to go ahead and butcher it. So,
but now I'm also used to it, so I don't take it personal if anyone mispronounces my name.
No, he's not going to take it personally, which is good.
When you come up to him in the streets and
ask
for his autograph.
When you told him you heard him on the Owl Pod, you can.
Oh yeah.
But as we mentioned, first international student to join us on the pod. And, usually we start, with our student athlete guests telling us a little bit about their journey to Temple. And I'm guessing for you, being international, your journey to Temple was probably a bit more unique than our previous guests. So could you tell us a little bit how you got here and about that whole process?
Sure. I think, I know that my journey is probably most likely different than every other journey that American person has to join college. Usually for internationals, we don't have that much knowledge about the American college system, the American college athletic system. That's why we usually go with agencies and have people that are more knowledgeable about the college environment, college athletics, reaching out and providing contacts for us so that we can make a perfect choice to find a great fit for the combination of sports and athletics for us. So I did that as well. I joined an agency in Austria when I decided to come to America. And the agency was a big help because they know what they have to do and they know how to help people out. And without them, I would say it would be impossible for internationals to join colleges in America. And so basically the way it works, you decide to work with them. And in soccer, then you have to do a highlight video, have to upload games from you so the coaches know your qualities, know your game style and everything. And then the agencies, they provide the contact information to the coaches. And from there on, it's just you talking to the coaches and reaching out to them, communicating with them, and then you try to find the best fit for you.
Yeah, so, based on that, I'm going to go ahead and guess, did you ever step foot on Temple's campus before getting here for your first time?
I did not. The first time actually I came to Temple was my first time in America in general. Being 21,
wow. So that's like a huge risk right off the bat. You're going to a school that you never even stepped foot in the same country as.
That's correct. But I'm the type of person I love to get out of my comfort zone a little bit, and I think a ship is not made to sit in the harbor its entire life. So putting some deep quotes out there.
That feels like a Jalen Hurts quote.
Yeah, that was a poet on the mic.
That was deep right there. I like that.
So with you never visiting before, why did you choose Temple? What drew you to this university, or was it coaching style, culture?
It had a lot to do with, honestly, gut feeling and just how I personally felt about the meetings with the coach I have and the meetings with the players I got to talk to before. Huge shout out to Rocco Häufglöckner, my teammate as well, who I had a few phone calls and text messages before coming here, German-speaking person as well. So someone from the same culture who gave me a lot of information before even coming here. And I would say Coach and Rocco, those two people had a major impact on me joining Temple.
Nice. Shout out to co-captain, right? Rocco?
Co-captain.
Yeah. Great leaders on the team. So more on this. We know you have obviously a different perspective than me and David, and then as well everyone else that's been on the podcast. What pushed you to get so involved at Temple once you were here? Because, it takes an extra step to do all the things that you're doing. So how did you get involved in all these side activities?
I have to look back a little bit on my past for that. I attended university in Austria, and attending university in Austria is a little bit different than in America. It's not as much of a community as it is here, and I felt more like a student in Austria, and right here at Temple in America, I feel I'm part of a big group, and coming here showed me how much you actually can get involved and how much you can contribute to campus organizations, if it's athletics or academics. And I really enjoy meeting new people, enjoy being in clubs, enjoy being with good people. And I think that was one of the reasons why I chose and why I'm still choosing to be involved on campus and at the university.
Yeah, no, that all makes a lot of sense. And we alluded to earlier, team captain, 3-year starter. I'm curious, spending more time talking about the actual team you're on right now. What's it like now leading a team of, you talked about how you knew Rocco of a lot of, I don't know what the percentage breakdown is, but, heavy international student athletes.
From all over.
From all over the place, not just Austria.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that you face with that, and how have you kind of managed that? Because you have, overseas players, you have, American players. I'm sure there's not only cultural differences, I'm sure there's playing style differences. How have you kind of navigated that and kind of led the team the way you have?
Well, first of all, I think due to the reason that soccer is such a global sport and it's played all over the world, it's such a cool benefit and a cool environment to be in a team with different cultural backgrounds and people from different countries, different languages and everything. And that leads to a very special environment and special group because everyone has a different background, different past, and everyone still comes together at one place for the love of the game because they enjoy playing sports, playing soccer. And in terms of challenges, I think the biggest one is probably the language part because we have a lot of players who, me included, their first language is not English. But the good part is also everyone is aware of that. And that's why if we talk about tactics, if we have talks within the team, we often simplify everything so everyone can understand it and everyone is on the same page. And other than, some people might see this as a challenge to have people from different cultures, but I actually think that's a strength because everyone has a different approach to a certain situation. And in the end, all those different approaches and different opinions, they lead to a cool end goal. And so I would say the language part is probably the biggest challenge.
Yeah, no, that's great. And, I think, as you
Interesting
discussed,
perspective.
as you discussed kind of throughout there, I couldn't help but remember some of the former teammates that you've had that have decided to move on to other schools, whether it be, West Virginia or some bigger schools out there that I'm sure, if you wanted to, you could probably get some looks just based on what I've seen on the field from you. But
no, thank you very much.
I think
and just the popularity of that, especially on the men's side of sports right now.
I agree.
Talking about the portal here for those of you that haven't caught that yet, but I'm always curious for people like in your position, why haven't you gone to the portal? Because in this day and age, it's something that so many people do, and it's not even frowned upon at this point. But
for all sports,
what's kept you here when you know that there's probably another school out there that's interested? What's kind of kept you at Temple when you've had really close friends leave? You've had people you probably look up to that have hit the portal. So why haven't you done that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with what you just said, that these days it's very easy to just access the portal and thinking to find a better school, a better program or whatever it is. But this school has given me so much in my now 3 years here, and I really found a second home away from home that there's no reason for me to leave. I think this school is a perfect fit for me. I grew so much in my 2-3 years, going into my third year now, grew so much in my 3 years here. And when I look back on the time when I came here and now I just changed and grew so much in a positive way. And also there's unfinished business on a soccer side as well. And I'm not a type of person that just leaves a program by not succeeding. So I'm excited for this season and how the season's going on to succeed.
Yeah, that's a great answer. I think that touches a lot on the team aspect of this community that you talked about a little bit earlier. And then also, you touched on it earlier, but those organizations you're involved with, is that play a part of your decision on that community side of your reasons for staying and sticking around?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know how it is at other schools. I can only compare it with my home country. But all the organizations we have here at Temple and every organization I'm part of, I'm also part of the International Business Association, IBA, for a Fox organization, which is pretty cool because you get to connect with other Fox members with the same interest as you. I'm also shout out to the Global Owls Club where I'm participating as well and
that's a student athlete organization
exactly
there at Temple.
It's pretty cool because it's all international students who get together. I think it's once a month, and it's
from all sports.
From all sports, exactly, from all sports, and it's pretty hard to see all the other students, also international students, during a regular school week because everyone is busy with schedule, practices, in season, everything. So it's nice to have at least one day per month where you can connect with everyone, see everyone, exchange some information, and just be together as a international group who all shares the same.
I will say I'm a proud American, but I will say when Thanksgiving time rolls around and you guys do your Global Owls event and the food coming from all these different countries and you guys make stuff, sometimes I wish I would get an invite to one of those meetings, but I understand that I have my own Thanksgiving dinner to go to, so there's no complaints there. I'm just saying you guys, I'm jealous of.
Shout out the Global Owls.
Sometimes I'm jealous
Definitely.
of what Global Owls got going over there. Well, good. That all makes a lot of sense. Wrapping up here on more of the formal interview side, give us a little update on your current season and looking ahead to kind of where you guys are going. We talked about some of the games you have coming up. Yeah. Talk to us about your approach to tomorrow and also as you get more into conference play.
Yeah, we had a rough start to the season. We're still figuring out our ways to succeed, but one thing we know is that we do a lot of amazing things in practice and we just need to transfer them more to game days. And the positive thing about playing college soccer is that you get usually two games a week, so there's a lot of time to prove the haters wrong, I would say, and score goals, win games, and that's the beautiful part about the game. And every game is different. You can win every game. We go into every game with the mentality to win it. And tomorrow, or actually when the podcast is getting out, it's today, Tuesday, is another chance to get a win at home in front of our own fans. And next chance is in conference on Sunday. So we are always excited for the games, excited to play, and excited to compete.
Yeah, well, we're excited. We'll look forward to being at both of those games this week. And I'd be remiss if I didn't add, I know I said this was my last question, but just looked at our notes and realized I missed an important topic here.
And this ties in perfectly with our Temple takes here. So a little insight, we're going to be talking more about student-athlete life, and I think Lukas has a really interesting perspective on this because we talked about this with Amelia Budd before, a Resnick Center trip, but he has had the opportunity to go to Korea and is going to Vietnam later this year, correct?
Correct, in January.
And so do you want to tell us a little bit about those trips? Who were they with, and how was your experience?
Well, first of all, I had a Korea trip, went to South Korea with the Fox School of Business in May, and I'm going to Vietnam in January, and it just shows what opportunities this university and especially the Fox School of Business gives to athletes and also regular students. It's just great to have those resources and have the option to go to Korea and Vietnam. And big shout out to my Professor Tom Phang as well. I went to Korea with him, and I'm pretty sure he's the Vietnam professor as well. It was primarily a business trip where we visited 8 companies in South Korea, got to test some local foods and some sites in South Korea. It's just an amazing time, very well organized, very well structured, and it's just an amazing opportunity to explore the Asian market in terms of business as a business major. Yeah,
that's awesome, and obviously the resources are great, but it's even better that you're taking advantage of those opportunities, and we see him on LinkedIn as well. if you want to give Lukas a connect on LinkedIn, he's
connect with
very
everyone,
active,
so feel free.
Very active on
He's
LinkedIn.
Active, yeah.
All right, well, like Amelia said, we'll take the time now to transfer into our favorite section. It's favorite segment of the pod, right?
We say that about every section.
After interviewing Lukas Egarter, it's the favorite section.
Yeah. Well, you're going to be part of this section, Temple Takes, which for those of you first-time listeners, which I think we're going to have a lot of once they see Lukas Egarter join the pod.
It's a big name.
I hope I can rise those numbers.
Temple Takes is where we give out a prompt. Usually we have a theme for each episode, which we'll get into, but we give out a prompt, and everyone on the show is going to give their take on whether that is overrated or underrated.
Usually gets a little controversial, but
it can get controversial at times.
It's okay to disagree. It keeps us
engaged.
Active.
There you go. So today's theme, I think you might have alluded earlier. Yeah. We got student athlete lifestyle experiences. We'll group those together. And if you're not a student athlete, That's okay.
You can learn a little bit more about our life
You
here.
can learn a little bit more about what we like and maybe what we don't like as much.
Yeah.
So, Amelia, you want to kick us off with our first take of the day?
Yeah, I think maybe a good one to start with, as we have an international here. Let's start with travel trips. As a team, at least my team, we fly to majorly all things that are over 6 hours on bus. So if you don't know student athlete life, that's a very big team bonding thing. And does anyone feel passionate about this to go first?
Lucas, why don't you start?
I can take this. For us, especially in season, we are traveling, actually flying to every conference game, which leaves us with a lot of traveling time. And I think the traveling part is very underrated because I enjoy spending time with good people, and I would say majority of my team are good people. So it's always nice to spend time with people. Usually when we have a flight away game, it's a 3-day trip. Get to spend a lot of time with people. Enjoy team dinner, team lunch, and prepare in a perfect way for the game because you have actually the time to prepare that you need on a 3-day trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it all makes a lot of sense, hearing it out loud, but I'm going to be on the opposite side. I'm going to go overrated for travel trips, and I'll tell you why. I think as a freshman, maybe even as a sophomore, there's a lot of excitement to travel. At least for us, we only travel maybe on a plane three times a year, max. But for us, I think, traveling, the reason it's not as exciting for me is usually our trips, we're getting back really late and we're leaving really early. So from a school perspective, it's not great. And then you couple in missing class and whatnot. So not only missing class, but when you get back, you're getting back in the middle of the night. So for me, I find traveling to be a bit exhausting. Also for our sport, specifically cross country. I think any runner would tell you it's not great to go sit on a plane for several hours and then go out and run. So for those reasons, I'm going to say overrated, especially now as an upperclassman, having done it a couple times or more than a couple times. I think it's something you're excited about at first, but quickly realize in my shoes that enough time at home with the team will do.
I'm going to have to disagree with you, David. What's new about that? We're always doing that. I'm agreeing with Lucas on this one. I think travel trips are very underrated. I think that is probably some of my favorite memories with my team are on travel trips, like randomly getting food with someone in an airport. Like you just connect in a different way with all your teammates, and the dinners are so fun. Time on the bus is so fun. Like our team has a rule, like you can't sit with the same person twice. So you're always learning something new about someone. Or
Temple Cross Country will be implementing that rule effective immediately.
Temple men's soccer as well.
Yeah, shout out to Bonnie for that one. Like David, though, we do often have delays on our flights, or the Temple Owl bus broke down on us last year and we were stranded in Delaware. But
whoa, is that a foul? Is that a foul?
No, that's just, I'm saying it's underrated, so that's actually a positive. Like the parents of my teammates, like they all came and picked us up, like, and that's gonna be probably one of my funniest and like favorite memories. That's like so random. Yeah. I guess we'll go into the next one. Let's do the student athlete lounge. Do you want to elaborate on what that is for some people that may not know?
Yeah. So the student athlete lounge is basically a space in our athletic facility where student athletes, basically what it sounds like. There's couches and food and TVs, even coffee. I don't drink coffee, but I hear the coffee up there is, I don't know.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. I love it. There you go. Basically, it's just a space where student athletes can hang out during the day. You can get work done. You can talk to other student athletes. And as I'm describing it, I'm realizing how could you say this place is overrated? So I'm going to say underrated. It's a great place to meet other student athletes. There's also sleep pods in there. So if you're tired, you can go ahead and take like a quick 30-minute nap during the day. I'm a big fan of the lounge. After practice, getting a snack.
You're always in there.
I'm in there a lot. Yeah.
All three of us, actually.
Shout out to David Troy, former Temple men's cross country. He probably clocked the most lounge hours.
And Haley Morris, I think. I think
those two
lived in there, actually. Yeah. They might have slept there, honestly.
So the lounge to me is underrated.
I'm going to go underrated as well. I think, along with everything David said, we have a great nutrition team here at Temple, and I got to do a shout out to Bagel & Co. That is one of my favorite things, especially after our morning practices right now, to get a good bagel, go home, maybe make a bacon, egg, and cheese with it or something. So I love the snacks in there, and I think that also just adds to that Temple community aspect because, I see David in there, I see Lukas in there, and that's people that I usually probably wouldn't see. Like, I'm never in the same classroom building as you, but I think that's a great way to also connect with fellow student athletes.
Yeah, I go with underrated as well, pretty obvious, but I'm a big fan of those midday naps, and when I'm on campus, I live 15 minutes away from campus, so getting a quick nap in those student athlete lounge sleeping pods helps me to gain energy for the afternoon, and maybe grabbing a quick snack as well, because they're always up there talking to some people I usually never see or rarely see because of different schedules, different teams. Just a cool place to socialize and get a quick nap in, get a quick snack in. Yeah.
Okay. I think going off of the great lounge that we have, and I kind of said that I love it after my morning practices, let's go overrated, underrated on morning lifts.
Well, I can start this off. Men's soccer usually, I know there's teams that have morning lifts at 6 a.m., 5:30, 6:30 a.m. Men's soccer has the privilege to have their morning lifts at 8:30, around 8:30 if they have morning lifts. And I actually don't have an overrated, underrated opinion on that, I would say.
Just rated?
I just rate it.
I actually respect that. Instead of trying to force one or the other, it's just right down the fairway. It's rated.
Sometimes 8:30 lifts are awesome, perfect. I enjoy them, getting them kind of out of the way in the morning. Sometimes they're rough to get up. So it's kind of an in-between for me.
Okay. Lukas elaborated on this, but we are one of those teams that does hit a good 6:30 a.m. lift on Friday mornings. So I'm going to go overrated on this. Except I'm kind of with Lukas. I think there is pros and cons. Like, maybe getting up isn't the best, but I love that we're done at like 10 a.m. Like, practice right after that. It's like a great start to my day, but I am going to go overrated because I think 6:30, I'm usually waking up at 5:30 for that, and that's just a little bit difficult for me.
It's a little too early. You're not an early bird.
But I've gotten used to it. It's my 5th year of this, so
you're used to it. Yeah, I'll follow suit there. I'm going to say overrated, and I might raise a couple eyebrows because we lift at 9:15 currently.
So that's why you wanted to be included on the mornings?
Well, yeah, but I would also add that we run before our lifts at 7. So for me personally, I think the scheduling gods were not on our side this semester. I prefer an afternoon lift if we're going to run in the morning. I like a little bit more time between my run and my lift for obvious reasons. But I also, in general, I like to usually do like practice in the morning and then come back with a lift in the afternoon. I think it's a nice way to kind of break up the day.
Okay.
So I would say overrated to morning lift, but underrated to morning practice.
Okay.
Maybe I'll throw that in there.
All right. So we all kind of had mixed feelings on it, yeah. Going off the lift, very important part of student athlete life, recovery. So let's talk about our thoughts on ice baths.
Yeah, I'll take this one because I think you guys, if I've read the room correctly, based on their reactions, they might disagree with this, but I'm going to say overrated. The ice tubs are a great resource to have, and I think for different specific reasons they could be great. But I just don't think they should be used consistently.
Do you have scientific
There is some
reasoning?
scientific stuff, but I think that would bore our listeners. If you want to hear the scientific side of it, I'm happy to explain. But maybe again, that's sport specific. Okay. But I'm gonna say overrated to the ice tubs.
Well, I love them. I think they're underrated. Completely different approach than Dave had just now. But I don't know if it's just a mental thing or if Mr. Science, David actually can
he's
prove
he's a business major. He is not Mr. Science.
That's my problem, though. It's a trend right now, like the ice tub.
Maybe if you're a social media influencer who's
are you an athlete or are you an influencer? I mean, are you both? I mean, what? Well,
we do it all.
Yeah, I can only speak personally for me. I think whatever it is, like my body or my mental side, I think they help me in some way, and that's why I enjoy doing them. I like them. I like to suffer a little bit and have a little bit of pain to get a benefit out of it.
Okay. I'm going to go underrated as well. I think it's a great recovery piece, and at least for me, I agree with Lukas on this. I think just helps the legs feel a little refreshed, Especially contrast bathing, which is like when you go in the ice for, I think, 5 minutes, and you go in the warm. So then your body has to, like, reacclimate into both. And I think that really shocks my system, you know? Okay, and then next we're going to talk about another big aspect of student-athlete life, which is, also on the recovery piece, actually, hydration. So Temple is a Powerade school, for those that do not know. So at least for soccer and lacrosse practices, I know we have water and Powerade at every single practice. Maybe let's have the argument of best color and if it's overrated or underrated in general.
Yeah, that's great. And I just want to say we have Powerade and water at every practice as well. So I don't know
like
why.
on the streets of Philadelphia or like
we have in the vans. So we take the vans. We got Power and water in the back.
Okay.
Powerade water. So I love this question. First of all,
Passionate.
Powerade extremely underrated. I didn't drink it before getting here.
Were you a Gatorade guy before?
You don't even say the G word at this school. Don't even say it. Don't even say it.
I always say something.
No,
last week it was Roll Tide.
Don't even say the G word. Powerade clears the other sports beverages, and the best color Powerade is lemon lime. Got to give a quick shout out to my trainer Nathan. He whips up a great batch. I tell you what, the lemon lime batch coming from that AT room.
Okay.
After a long run, after a workout. It's honestly, sometimes, I'm not even kidding, guys, it gets me through a run, is the thought of the first sip of that Powerade. And
wow.
I know I'm going off a little bit right now.
You're passionate about it.
I will say one more thing. I refuse to drink Powerade before or during a run because it tastes so good. I feel like it's literally like a reward when I finish. So I do not drink it before or during an activity. And that's where I'll leave the Powerade discussion.
Okay, so I'm going to go overrated. I hate to be a hater, but, I actually have a little bit of a scientific background, so not to diss David, but I think...
Scientific background on what flavor Powerade you
No, just about electrolytes, recovery, My go-to, I hope I'm allowed to say this, before every game I have a whole bottle of Pedialyte, and I think that is literally the best hydration.
Yeah, possible. We're going to need to X that out.
Or sponsor me. Give me an NIL deal. But I do enjoy a little bit of Powerade at practice, But my favorite, shout out to Spencer, who's our athletic trainer. Last year right after we won the Super Bowl, she made Cooper de Juice, and it was yellow and green mixed, or yellow and blue mixed together. So it was green. It was, amazing for Philly, and it tastes amazing as well.
Yeah, I was actually surprised by the excitement level of Dave at this question. Because
I was too, honestly. Once I started talking about it, I was like, I really love Powerade.
But similar to him, I also didn't really drink Powerade before coming to college. And similar to Amelia, I enjoy a little bit of Powerade during practices. Pretty basic answer, I think, but I really enjoy the blue one. And I'm going to say something now. I don't know if that's a no-go or no, but I always mix my Powerade with water. It's like a 50-50 mix kind of.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the other two people in the room are thinking about this, but I think that's a must for me.
Yeah, and again, I don't want to get too in the weeds of Powerade, but that to me is like, it's a batch call, right? Like if the batch is a little heavy on the powder, like I'll dilute it a little bit. That's a scientific term for you right there.
Well, they say if you think it's really strong, that means you're dehydrated. That's what an athletic trainer has told me, and I trust them.
Okay. Before I make a comment, let's move on to the next Temple take.
Okay. Mixed reviews on that one. Okay. So our final one, shout out to lacrosse. We just had this in the previous weekend, but we're going to talk about team banquets. Temple takes on team banquets.
Yeah, I can start. Team banquets, they're very nice in theory, but I think they're a bit overrated. And I think a lot of that stems from I just don't like to be recognized at all. Just humble. Not really my style. And also I think from what I've heard, these team banquets can be quite costly. And I think we could do maybe something a little bit smaller. Again, this is more personal, I'm realizing as I'm saying it. But I just think the concept is great. But also I think the reason I probably feel strongly about this is because our team banquet is in the spring. And for those of you that don't know, we don't have a track team. So our season ends in the fall, and then we are able to run in the spring, but it feels kind of counterintuitive to be having a banquet at the end of our spring season when.
Is it like in May?
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe that's, again, more of a personal thing.
Yeah.
But I would say overrated to team banquet.
I have a question. Is your family allowed to come, or is it just team for you guys?
That's a good question. I believe family is allowed to come, but for us, the families that do go are usually just the parents of the seniors.
Okay, makes sense.
We don't really have a team banquet, honestly. We do more of team activity events at the end of season, I would say.
Like what?
Like usually we go to Topgolf at the end of the spring season, get a little bit of team activity, a little bit of competition going, and I think we swapped the team banquet for a little bit of competition and fun with the team to finish off the semester, finish off the season. But if I have to give an answer on underrated or overrated, I think they are underrated because I would really enjoy a little team night, team evening, even if they are maybe
more
expensive.
formal.
But I like to dress up a little bit. I think most of my team would say that as well. Have a social night, a formal night in the evening. I think that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah. Again, I'm going to agree with Lucas on this one. Our team banquet is like a grand ordeal. Like, definitely probably costly, like you said, David, but I think it's a great time. My parents actually were just able to come up this weekend for ours, and it was a great time. For our team, at least, like, a lot of parents come. I mean, like, probably 90% of my team is from New Jersey, PA, so those parents are super close, and I think, again, that just ties in with that Temple community. That's our theme of the week, probably.
There you go. Well, I love that.
Oh, wait, I said underrated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Love the Temple lacrosse banquets.
All right. Well, there you have it for Temple Takes. Thanks for giving your input. Love the enthusiasm behind it. I know we disagreed a lot, but I still appreciate your input. And I guess now that brings us into our last segment of the pod.
Some people's favorite section.
Some people's favorite. That would be owl or foul. Amelia, I'll let you describe as you always do.
I'll do my classic line. So for those that don't know, the owl is something that is soaring in the Temple community this week. Shout out to the American Conference mascot, which I also learned at my team banquet, the only conference with a mascot.
The only one.
That's crazy.
Wow, so we are the first conference that has a mascot?
Oh, yeah.
We're the first conference that has a mascot.
We're setting the standard. So shout out to Soar the Eagle. Shout out to the American Conference. We love you both. And then the foul, self-explanatory. It's something that's...
It's a no-go.
Yeah, but it can be improved on, you know?
It can be. I think the point is to bring awareness to this foul.
Yes.
And really advocate for some change.
Yes.
With
All
that
right.
being said, we talked about this team earlier. But I think the owl for this week would be Temple Field Hockey, who, as we alluded to earlier, as we mentioned earlier, off to a great start. Coming off an amazing season last year where they were in the Big East Championship game. They've picked up right where they left off. Great start. Looking forward to following them as they have 2 games this week, and as they get into conference play in the next couple weeks. So pretty easy one here. Temple Field Hockey. Shout out to you guys. Keep crushing it.
Yeah.
On the other side, we gotta have a discussion.
Bring some more awareness to this at Temple.
Let's bring some awareness.
We talk a lot about Temple pride here, you know? So the foul for this week, which I'm not sure if it's a thing on every college campus, but the foul this week is going to be wearing other schools' shirts or, you know, hoodies on campus.
Other schools' gear on campus. Hats, shirts, sweatshirts, whatever. I just see too much of it.
Yeah.
I'm walking home and I see a Penn State sweatshirt and I see a kid wearing a Villanova shirt. I see Pitt. Guys, we're Temple Owls here.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Why is this acceptable to be wearing these other teams'
It's
gear?
not.
I mean, look, I'll speak for the student athletes. You know, obviously we're lucky to get a lot of gear from the school, so we shouldn't ever have a student athlete wearing another school's team.
True.
But the rest of the students, we got to step up here. I mean, we should all be proud Temple Owls, and I don't care if your best friend, your girlfriend, your boyfriend goes to another school in state. Keep it at home.
Yeah.
What do you think, Lucas?
No, I definitely agree with that. I think from an athletic perspective, we have a little bit more of an opinion on that because we actually play those schools and compete against them.
That's a great point.
That's a great point.
But if I see someone on campus with a school that we played or a school that we even lost to, it drives me a little bit crazy. So we got to get back to, or we got to implement being a Temple Owl and having our own gear on our own campus.
And I'm just going to go on the record here. if I see it, I'm going to call it out from now on. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm not going to be mean about it, but I'm just going to say, hey,
watch out for David.
New bookstore. We talked about Paley Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go grab a Temple T-shirt.
Great bookstore, by the way, as well.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, if you don't have one, I got plenty of extra ones. I'm happy to swing by and drop off a Temple T-shirt if that's what it takes. But let's,
also, we need to get into the Cherry Thursday.
That's a great
school
shout out.
pride, Cherry Thursdays, especially if we see you wearing a different school on a Cherry Thursday.
That's a great shout out.
That is a disgrace.
If you don't know, if you sleep under a rock, Thursdays, Cherry Thursday. You're supposed to wear cherry on Thursday. Mm-hmm. I'm wearing cherry right now. It's not Thursday, but don't worry on Thursday. I will be wearing cherry. So yeah, let's stop wearing other schools' gear on campus.
Yes, it's unacceptable.
All right. Well, if you made it this far in the pod, be sure to like, subscribe, follow. That way you don't miss an episode. Like we said, Kevin will be interviewing a special guest on Friday. Mm-hmm. I think it relates to our owl of this week.
Oh yeah.
But thanks for listening. Thanks for coming on, Lucas.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck with the rest of the season, and we'll see you tomorrow night against Lafayette.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Or tonight, technically. Go Owls.
Go Owls.
Go Owls.